Part 12. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 111. My name is Bai, I am Jinping's partner, so I naturally know you. Bai smiled slightly and briefly introduced himself. He knew Bai Xing's character, and he was not Luffy. If he wanted to win Bai Xing, he would have to use some means and external force. Lord Jinbei's partner. Bai Xing was a little surprised. Although she was still young, she also knew that humans and fish people were not harmonious. Even if there were humans who did not discriminate against fish people, they would rarely become partners with fish people. Princess Shirahoshi, I have now joined the Straw Hat Pirates. Shirao is our vice captain. With him, Fishman Island is very safe. Jinbei came with an assist from the side. The mermaid princess is so beautiful. Not even the heart of jealousy can rise. Women will be smitten. Nami, Vivi, and Robin were also very shocked after seeing Bai Xing. It was really beautiful. And it was the kind of beauty that no one could refute. Sanji was even more exaggerated, and his whole eyes changed. It became heart-shaped. The nosebleed spurted out and flew into the sky like a rocket. Sanji. Chopper was startled. This amount of bleeding would kill someone. Troublesome perverted chef. Zoro said, and immediately went up to take the fainted Sanji back to the ship, and let Chopper heal him. Princess Bai Xing, can you let me take a look? Boom. Roll. Bai kicked Brook away. This bastard had nothing else to say except looking at his underwear. Of course, he could only look at a skeleton. Super. I am super awesome today. The Iron General suit is about to go out. Frankie roared, very excited. Iron General. Amazing. Chopper and Luffy's eyes immediately lit up. Asshole. Kill them for me. Hody Jones saw that the Straw Hat seemed to be playing, and he immediately became furious. 100,000 fishman pirates in the entire square immediately started to take action. Lord Bai, please save my father and brother. Bai Xing quickly asked for help. Don't worry, no problem. Bai smiled slightly. Not to mention 100,000 miscellaneous fish, not even 100,000 elites of the Navy could do anything to them. This group of miscellaneous fish are not even qualified to give them training. At most, it is a good entertainment activity. Bai is too lazy to do it himself. Directly use water release to create a water clone. Although the clone is only 1/10 of his strength. But to deal with these miscellaneous fish, 1/10 is too much. Roll. Luffy shouted coldly, releasing his domineering aura. In an instant, all the fishman pirates who were close to Luffy fainted and fell to the ground. 100,000 fishman pirates were reduced by half in an instant. What the hell happened? What kind of magic is this? Cheer up. Get up. Half of them fell down. Human beings are indeed terrible. The fishman pirates were frightened. They didn't know that this was haki. Hody Jones was also sweating profusely on his forehead. He had never seen such power before. You don't even know haki, yet you dare to claim to be the strongest pirate king? Do you know what One Piece is? Baiu's water body came over and looked at Hody Jones with disdain. This guy is ugly, but he thinks he is beautiful. The most powerful person in the world is the Pirate King. Hody Jones said coldly. Good. Captain Hody will definitely become the strongest Pirate King. Captain Hody. Roar. The fishman pirate immediately shouted loudly, with a strong momentum. Bai waved his hand without saying anything, and a slash appeared. Wu Dao Flow. Hody Jones grabbed a subordinate next to him and blocked the slash. Captain Hody. All the fishmen and pirates looked at their trusted captain stupidly. He is just a waste. It is his honor to be able to attack me now. As a crew member, you must have the consciousness to sacrifice for the captain. Hody Jones said coldly. Asshole. What do you think of as a partner? Luffy was angry, and directly entered the second gear, clenching his fists, and wrapped his armed collar with domineering energy. He instantly disappeared on the spot and appeared in front of Hody Jones. Bang! Hody Jones flew out directly. Huh! Luffy lifted it. Shifted to second gear. Baiyu put his hand on Luffy's back and activated the Palm Immortal technique, go and have a rest. These bastards don't need the captain to take action. I, the deputy captain, are enough. Luffy nodded, not showing off. Mainly because he had no interest in fighting these people anymore. Asshole. How dare you beat Captain Hody away? A fishman holding a sledgehammer rushed towards Baiyu angrily. Baiyu looked a little familiar, he should be a cotter. But it didn't matter who it was, they were all trash. The huge hammer swept towards him. Bang! Baiyu blocked it with one hand. Hammer, a bunch of frogs in a well, little do you know how big the world is. As soon as the words fell, the hammer began to break. He clenched his hand into a fist. Bang! Without any moves, pure power, the fishman flew out instantly and hit the wall of the square, without any movement. General French appears. Boom! A huge robot appears. General French. Luffy and Chopper's eyes flashed with gold. Usopp looked at it for a moment, and then continued to kill. If he were an ordinary person, Usopp would probably be the same as the two of them. General Iron Fist. The huge fist was waved. With one punch, dozens of fishmen were knocked away. Before reaching the ground, if I can't make my Thor suit, I will dismantle your Iron General. Enilu appeared next to Frankie and said. Must. Frankie nodded quickly. Now the power supply for his suit is provided by Enel. He doesn't dare to offend this power bank. Enero? Do you want a suit? Baiyu was also a little surprised. He noticed the changes in Enelu during this period of time. But he didn't expect it to change so quickly. Well, Frankie said he could help me enhance the power of thunder and lightning, and he said it was very handsome. Enelu said very seriously. When he spoke, there was a trace of expectation on his face. And my commander Chopper. Chopper raised his hands excitedly. And my One Piece. Luffy shouted immediately. My skeleton emperor must hurry up too, yo ho ho ho. Brook shouted while fighting. Frankie, if you don't make my stealth number for me, you won't be able to eat anymore, and I'll cut off all the coke for you. Sanji directly threatened. My Kenmaru must be prepared by the chef first. Zoran didn't give in at all. The gunslinger must also be completed as soon as possible. Usopp said coldly, obviously he still has the personality of Yan Chuangying. I also want a fishman number. Jinbei suddenly said. Don't worry, everyone will have it, just leave it to me, the super. Frankie patted his chest and assured. Baiyu, what kind of suit do you want? I don't need to, you just have fun. Baiyu shook his head quickly. Don't say that he doesn't need it now. Even if he does, he will create it himself. He really doesn't dare to compliment Frankie's aesthetics. Nami, Robin, Vivi, do you three want it? Frankie asked. No thanks. I can transform, so there's no need. It's too ugly, don't want it. The three women simply refused. Normal people cannot accept Frankie's aesthetics. A picture also appeared in Baiyu's mind. More than a dozen people all put on steel suits to fight. That picture. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 112. The Straw Hats completely ignored the tens of thousands of fishman pirates around them and just chatted there without scruples. This scene made the people on Fishman Island dumbfounded. Isn't this fighting? Why do they seem to be playing? The Tide King Neptune and the three princes also had question marks on their faces. What kind of people did Jinbi bring here? Fighting seems like a joke. This kind of battle is really just a joke to the current Straw Hats. If we were serious, the battle would probably be over in an instant. Asshole! Dare you stop me from taking control of Fishman Island? You all deserve to die. Hody Jones crawled out from the ruins, grabbed a handful of medicine and put it in his mouth. The moment he took the medicine, the muscles in his body swelled. His size also became much larger. The aura on his body was even more terrifying than before. His fingers were spread out. Open, water droplets appear on the palm. Samayabu. The dense water droplets flew out like sharp arrows, heading straight for Bayou. Do you want me to play with water? Then let me play with you. Bayou also felt a little funny. I really thought his water escape was fake. Water escape water wall formation. Waterfall-like water flow appeared out of thin air, spinning around Bayou, resisting all water arrows. Water escape Tianwei. Dense water needles shot out from the water curtain. Samayabu. Hody Jones waved his hands frantically, trying to resist the flying water arrows. However, Yabu Same's water arrows were too weak, or Hody Jones was too weak. The water needles easily penetrated the water arrows, and their power was not reduced. Puff. The dense water needles pricked Hody Jones into a hedgehog. Plop. Hody Jones fell to the ground. Captain Hody. Kill you. An octopus mermaid rushed towards Bayou. Each of the 6 octopuses held a knife on their feet. Plus the 2 knives in their hands, there were 8 knives. There are a lot of knives, but unfortunately they are too weak. Bayou raised a finger, and the thunder light flashed. Puff. The white thunder penetrated the octopus and mermaid's mind. Asshole! You actually killed Baozang. Another fishman rushed up. Frankie tramples. Bang. Frankie's huge steel body crushed the fishman rushing towards Bayou with one kick. Vice Captain. Am I super awesome today? Frankie made a shameful gesture and looked at Bayou expectantly. Yes, yes, I leave it to you. Bayou quickly waved his hand and released the water body. He really can't stand this guy. Frankie laser. Bang. The huge iron fist blew away a cotter of the fishman pirates. There is a tanuki here. Catch him. The fishman pirate discovered Chopper. I'm a reindeer. Not a tanuki. Chopper roared angrily and instantly grew bigger. Bang. The fishman flew out directly. Monster. The fishman pirates were so frightened that they ran away quickly. These humans are so strong. Those 3 women should be very weak. If we can't defeat the men and that monster, how can we defeat those women? Good. Catch those 3 human women. The fishman pirates have shifted their targets to the 3 women again. Lord Bayou, your companion is in danger. Bye. Scene said quickly. It's okay, it's the fishmen who are in danger. Bayou smiled. This group of stupid fishmen actually thought that these 3 women were weak. Wei has almost mastered the transformation technique. Although the combat power is not very strong, when it comes to assassination, except for Bayou, no one has comparable. Not to mention Nami, with the large power bank of Enel, he has almost completely mastered the railgun. Although Robin has the least number of shots, his strength is definitely the best among the 3 women. First, especially in the face of the current situation. Monster. Run. These human pirates are all monsters. Terrible. The mentality of the fishman pirates has collapsed. None of these dozen people can be dealt with by them. Even the 3 women who look weak and weak are as powerful as monsters. There's a little girl on board. Such a small child can always catch it. Get that little girl. The fishman pirates once again burned up their fighting spirit. Want to arrest me? Meili's little face looked confused. Little one, don't move. Chapter 31, Red Cannon. Meili raised her little hand, and the flames instantly engulfed the fishman. The fishman's body was charred and black, and he fell to the ground with smoke. The other fishmen and pirates who had not yet rushed up turned around and ran away in fright. Poof, the escaping fishman was killed instantly. And the person who took action was none other than Hody Jones, who had already fallen. Captain Hody. The faces of the fishman pirates were full of horror. Because Hody Jones had eaten the entire pack of medicine. Roar. The roar like a wild beast spread throughout the fishman island. Then the whole person fell to the ground. Boom. A strong heartbeat sounded, as loud as a drum. The whole place fell silent instantly. Boom. The heartbeat sounded again, and the sound was louder than before. Boom, boom, boom. It was like beating a drum, and the sound became louder and louder. Faster. Then, the sound stopped instantly. Boom. A powerful wave of power erupted from Hody Jones's body. Even the weak fishman pirates could not stand still. Sanji, Zoro, Frankie, save people first. Bayou shouted quickly. The power fluctuations in Hody Jones are very strong now, and they are no weaker than the generals. Naturally, he is not afraid, but he cannot let Nipton and the others die. In that case, how can he win over this little kid? By seeing. Although it will take more than 10 years for Xiao Baixing to grow legs. But he is not in a hurry, and he is not afraid of late for good food. Moreover, there is no way to speed up the growth. As long as you can soak it in your hands, everything will not be a problem. As for the body shape, haha, do you really think that the transformation technique is fake? No one dared to stop the three of them. Neptune and the three princes were rescued and placed next to the pirate ship. Chopper helped the three of them recover. Thank you so much. Neptune recovered and quickly thanked. There is no need to thank us. If you want to thank us, just thank Jinbei. Shirao shook his head. He didn't care about these thanks, his goal was Shirahoshi. Jinbei is the one who really wants to save Fishman Island. They are just playing for fun. Jinbei. Now is not the time to talk about this. Hody's current state is a bit troublesome. Jinbei interrupted Neptune. It's incredible that he didn't die after taking so many poisons. Neptune looked at the changing Hody Jones in great surprise. Roar. Hody Jones stood up, his height soared to about 10 meters, and the muscles all over his body swelled like small hills. His dorsal fin swelled several times. Rice is like a sharp scimitar. Its aura and strength are completely comparable to those of a general. His eyes like red light bulbs stared at Bayou tightly. It was as if he wanted to eat Bayou. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 113. Captain Hody. I knew Captain Hody wouldn't have it. This fishman pirate hasn't finished speaking yet. He was caught by Hody Jones. Throw a handful into your mouth. Crunchy, fishy. This scene immediately frightened everyone. Baixing was timid to begin with, so he burst into tears when he saw such a cruel scene. The other fishman pirates also immediately stayed away from Hody Jones. No one wants to be eaten next. Many people even hid behind the straw hats. Little Baixing stopped crying, closed her eyes, and it was over soon. Bayou saw Baixing crying, and the anger in his heart instantly filled up. Shirahoshi wiped his tears and closed his eyes. Just then, Hody Jones disappeared. Bayou instantly opened the 8 gates of Dungia. The 7th door, shocking door. Open. Boom. Powerful power fluctuations swept around. Roll. Bayou roared and kicked out vigorously. Hody Jones flew directly out of Fishman Island and into the seabed. Bayou also rushed out. Day Tiger. The air cannon instantly swamped Hody Jones. Water escape 5 eating shark. 5 shark-shaped water bombs bit Hody Jones' body crazily. Soon, Hody Jones' body was torn into pieces. This time I am completely dead, so dead that I cannot die again. Is this still a human being? Hody Jones had just become so powerful, and he didn't even have a chance to fight back. Fighting in the sea water, he is more powerful than the fishman. Isn't this too scary? Surrender. We surrender. Hody Jones made us do it. Spare us. The fishman pirates immediately put down their weapons and surrendered. Seeing Bayou's explosive strength, how could they dare to continue fighting? They may be imprisoned for surrendering, but at least they don't have to die. Very good. Victory. Thank you, human pirates. Jinbei. Thank you for saving everyone. Long live Fishman Island. Long live the king. The people around the square cheered immediately when they saw the Fishman pirates surrendering. The new Fishman pirates surrendered. The captured Ryago City soldiers were also released. This is how the war ended. The Straw Hats also he became the savior of Fishman Island. King Neptune immediately held a banquet in Dragon Palace City. The extremely large and luxurious banquet hall was very lively. Everyone was celebrating the joy of surviving the disaster. On behalf of all the people of Fishman Island, thank you for saving us. Thanks. Neptune bowed and thanked the Straw Hats sincerely. The other mermaids and fishmen also bowed and thanked them. You're welcome, Mr. Afro, the food here is really delicious. After Luffy finished speaking, he continued to fight with the food. The others also smiled, drinking and eating. Sanji was surrounded by a dozen beautiful mermaid ladies. Bayou, can I call you this? Neptune came to Bayou with a wine glass in his hand. Sure. Bayou smiled slightly. Thank you very much for saving Shirahoshi and Fishman Island. I really don't know how to thank you. Neptune said sincerely. That's not easy, as long as you betroth the White Star to me. Bayou is also very direct. Don't you know how to thank me? Then use your daughter to thank you. After saying this, the banquet hall fell silent instantly. Shirahoshi is only 14 years old. Neptune did not expect that Bayou would have such a request. It's okay, I can wait, it's only 16 years, I can afford to wait. Bayou looked indifferent. Anyway, he is determined to win by seeing, no one can compete with him. Lord Bayou. Bai Seing's pretty face turned pink. The people in the Straw Hat Pirates were also a little confused. Especially the 3 girls Nami, Vivi, and Robin. As long as Bai Seing likes it, I have no objection. If Bai Seing doesn't like it, I am willing to marry Mr. Bayou. Before Neptune had finished speaking, Shirahoshi expressed his stance directly. This made Neptune's eyes widen. Everyone at the banquet also had their mouths wide open and their faces full of shock. Bayou was also a little surprised. He didn't expect Bai Seing to actually agree. He thought he was going to try harder. In this case, Before Neptune had finished speaking, the door to the banquet hall was knocked open. Your Majesty the King. Oh no. A large number of human pirates broke into Fishman Island, and the soldiers suffered heavy casualties. The guard reported loudly. What? Neptune was suddenly shocked. He had just experienced a big battle, and he had just relaxed when something happened. Moreover, this is Whitebeard's territory. Usually, even if pirates come, they don't dare to attack openly. There are at least a dozen pirate ships. These people are very strong, and our soldiers are still injured, so they are no match at all. The guard said quickly. This is how to do. Is God going to destroy our Fishman Island? Cough. Neptune started coughing as he spoke. Bang. The guards of Ryago Castle were thrown in. A group of ferocious pirates entered the banquet hall. Fishman Island is nothing more than that. This will be the territory of our tried pirates from now on. Trid was very excited. With Fishman Island, it means having endless wealth. So big. What a nice view. So beautiful. Could this be the mermaid princess? Apart from the legendary mermaid princess, I can't think of anyone else who is so beautiful. Get rich. Really made a fortune. A group of pirates looked at Byscene with a greedy look in their eyes. Don't you know this is the territory of the Whitebeard pirates? Do you still dare to cause trouble here? The minister of Dragon Palace City asked loudly. I know, so what? Trid smiled. If it were before, we wouldn't dare to take action, but now, the Whitebeard pirates have been disbanded, and now they can't even take care of themselves. How can they still care about this place? Whitebeard pirates disbanded. Bayou frowned. This was completely beyond his expectation. When the people in Ryago City heard the news, they all fell into a daze. The Whitebeard pirates were disbanded? How is this possible? The reason why Fishman Island can stabilize is, it's because of Whitebeard. Without Whitebeard's protection now, there will never be peace here in the future. You said the Whitebeard pirates were disbanded? Bayou appeared in front of Trid. You. The moment Trid saw Bayou, his eyes widened. He was so frightened that he fell to the ground. The other pirates were all frightened, and the timid ones fainted immediately. Neptune and others were also a little confused. Why did the pirate who was so arrogant just now look like a mouse seeing a cat after seeing Bayou? I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 114. Trid also had troubles that he couldn't express. Bayou was already famous around the world before the Ding Shang War began. And after the war on top. The Straw Hat Pirates are also known as the Fifth Emperor of the Sea. The captain, Straw Hat Luffy, exploded with terrifying power and sunk the entire Marinal Vando. Swordsman Sauron even defeated Hawkeye and became the new world's greatest swordsman. Anirudh, who possesses the natural thunder fruit ability, is as powerful as a general. The lowest reward for all members is a terrifying existence worth over 100 million. Of course, except for Pet Chopper, and Trid's bounty is not low, 78,000 Baileys. This is pretty good for the first half of the Grand Line. But compared to the Straw Hat Pirates, that is, the bounty is higher than Chopper's. Let me ask you, what are you afraid of? Bayou frowned. He knew that he was somewhat famous now, but it wouldn't be to this extent, right? For this Trid was so frightened that he couldn't speak at all. Forget it, you still don't have to say it. Bayou shook his head. This person is really too cowardly. Do not kill me. I said. Trid thought that Bayou was going to kill him, so he immediately stopped stammering and knelt on the ground and said, after the big incident, after the Whitebeard pirates returned to the New World, they seemed to have had a big battle with Big Mom. In a few days, Whitebeard announced the disbandment of the pirate group and said that he would retire and take care of himself. Now Kaido and Big Mom in the New World are still fighting for Whitebeard's territory. The whole New World is in chaos. I heard that this is also Whitebeard's place, so I came to try my luck. Lord Bayou. Just think of me as a fart and let me go. Trid was almost crying. So what's going on with the Whitebeard pirates now? Bayou asked again. This little person really doesn't know much about those big shots. How could I, a little person, know so clearly about the big shots? Trid said with a cry, Sir Bayou, as long as you are willing to let me go, from now on, my Trid pirates will be affiliated with the Straw Hat Pirates. You are not qualified to be called our affiliated pirate group. Leave all the treasures and supplies on your ship and get out. Bye. You said coldly, go out and tell everyone that Fishman Island will be the territory of the Straw Hat Pirates from now on. If anyone dares to mess around here, they will start a war with our Straw Hat Pirates, understand? Understand? Understood. The villain must spread the news. Trite nodded quickly. Get out of here if you understand. Bayou said coldly. Yes. Thank you, Lord Bayou, for not killing me. Trite kowtowed, and rolled out with his men. Arrange for 2 guards to go over and receive the supplies. Bayou said. Why don't you hurry up and arrange for someone to come over? Neptune came to his senses and quickly ordered the guards to get supplies. Yes. The guards immediately followed the Trite pirates. Bayou, why did Uncle Whitebeard disband the pirate group? So where did Ace go? Luffy asked anxiously. I don't know much about this matter. It's completely beyond my expectation. With the strength of Ace and the others, as long as they don't meet the generals or the 4 emperors alone, there won't be any big problems. We'll talk about these things when we get to the New World. Bar. Bayou shook his head. He really didn't expect this now. But he felt that there must be a reason why Whitebeard disbanded the pirate group, and it was definitely not a reason to take care of his old age. However, these things can only be solved when the new age comes. The world can investigate clearly. There is no use in rushing now. Robin C. Forest contains the historical text you want. After you record it, we will hurry up and head to the New World. Bayou also had an uneasy feeling in his heart. He had to hurry up and figure it all out. He didn't like things happening outside of his control. Well, I'll go over there. Robin nodded. I'll go with you, Robin. Wei said. I'll go take a look too. Nami also followed. Bayou glanced at the 3 women and said nothing. Your Majesty the King. The guard ran in horror. What happened again? Neptune frowned and his mood just improved. If something happens now, he will really go crazy. You. Look at this. The guard respectfully handed a stack of bounty orders to Neptune. The first bounty order was for Luffy wearing a straw hat. Then it was Bayou. The more Neptune looked at it, the more his hands shook. It was so scary. It's a reward order. I want to see. Luffy's hand immediately grew longer, and he snatched the reward order from Neptune's hand. After seeing his reward, Luffy's expression changed, and tears welled up in his eyes. What's wrong, Luffy? Chopper asked curiously. My bounty money actually dropped. Luffy was about to cry. Lost? This is impossible, right? Bayou took the reward order and took a look at it. It used to be 680 million, but now it's 250 million. Luffy was very depressed. When? You idiot, you missed a zero. Your current reward is 2.5 billion belly. Bayou knocked Luffy on the head. Really? Luffy immediately became excited. Take it and count it yourself. Bayou threw the bounty order to Luffy and asked him to go aside. Then he saw the bounty for himself and others. The clone Bayou, the bounty amount, 3 billion belly. Enelu, the bounty amount, 1.5 billion belly li. Roronoa Zoro, the bounty amount is, 1 billion belly. Blackfoot Sanji, the bounty amount is, 800 million belly. The Swallow Double Eagle Usopp, the bounty amount is, 850 million belly. Shipman Frankie, reward amount, 560 million Baileys. Skeleton Brook, reward amount, 600 million Baileys. Helmsman Jinbe, reward amount, 640 million Baileys. Nico Robin, reward amount, 300 million Baileys Bailey. Nami, the little cat thief, has a bounty of 330 million Baileys. Vivi, the transformed female, has a bounty of 180 million Baileys. Melee, a little girl, has a bounty of 80 million Baileys pet. Chopper, bounty amount, 100 Baileys. When he finally saw Chopper's bounty, Bayou's mouth twitched. The Navy is also true, everyone's bounty has increased, even Melee has a bounty of 80 million. In the end, Chopper still paid 100 UN. Even if it was a symbolic increase, it would be fine, even if it was an additional 50 UN. I want to see, how much is my reward? Chopper shouted excitedly. He also contributed a lot to the war on the top, so he should be able to increase the reward, right? Chopper, actually the size of the reward has nothing to do with strength. Bayou really couldn't bear it, but he still handed the reward order to Chopper. 100 Baileys. Chopper sat on the ground, even more disappointed than Luffy just now. Melee's bounty was actually higher than his. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 115. Navy Headquarters. World conscription has begun. And the effect is very good. We have found quite a few strong men, including a few who are as powerful as generals. Seeing these reports, a rare smile appeared on King Z's face. Finally someone is available. During this period, he was almost a polished commander. Kizaru also breathed a sigh of relief. He really had to break his leg recently. It doesn't matter to him if he is just a little tired. After all, the Navy is short of manpower now, so he can do more as a Navy admiral. That's right. But now, not only is he exhausted every day, but the world government still wants to investigate him. Those CP agents are like flies scurrying around the Navy headquarters all day long. It looks like he really wants to kick him at the speed of light. Kick these flies away. I want to take a vacation. I'm tired. Kizaru said directly. I don't even have a vacation. Where do you get your vacation? Qingji rolled his eyes at Kizaru, taking a vacation? He also wanted to, but that was impossible. Kyuzan, don't go too far. As your senior, I have helped you enough. Kizaru directly used his identity to suppress Aoki. According to the age at which he went to school, Kizaru was indeed 2 years earlier than Aoki. Senior, you are now being censored by the world government. Do you think it is possible for you to take a vacation? Of course, as a junior, I naturally believe you. The new world is currently in turmoil. There is no lieutenant general stationed at the G5 branch yet. You can just go and station there for a few days and treat it as a rest. Is this finally okay? Qing Pheasant looked at Kizaru with a sincere look on his face. Kyuzan, I now realize that you are becoming more and more like a human being. Kizaru said seriously. Mr. Warring States period. Qing. Pheasant asked curiously. It's that damn Bayou. Kizaru gritted his teeth and said, do you know that the tone you speak now is exactly the same as that Bayou? No way. Qing Pheasant was very surprised. He had no feelings at all. And how could he be like Bayou? Still saying no? Did you know that the tone of your voice just now is very similar? Kizaru shook his head, forget it, G5 branch, I'll go. After saying that, he turned into golden light and disappeared. It can be regarded as out of sight and out of mind. Is it really similar? Qing Pheasant said to himself. It's indeed very similar. Carp came in. How does it feel to be a marshal? Warring States revealed half of his head behind the door and said with a smile. Phew. King Z took a deep breath and tried to calm himself down. Then he said, I heard that you two caught Blackbeard. Dropped while fishing. Warring States answered very honestly. The corner of King Z's mouth twitched. No one could catch Blackbeard while fishing. Did he say how he was caught by you? He was attacked by a golden lion, the pirate ship was destroyed, and he drifted on the sea for 7 days and 7 nights. This time he was dropped by us. Carp said from the side. Golden Lion. Ching Pheasant frowned. Why did this old guy show up? The golden lion that has been dormant for 20 years appears, and the white beard retreats. The sea becomes more and more chaotic. Kuzan, this is your opportunity and also your challenge. If you succeed, you will reach the top. If you fail, you will fall into the abyss. Warring State said with a serious face. He has always been very optimistic about Ching Pheasant, otherwise he would not have recommended Ching Pheasant as marshal. Don't worry about the golden lion. We are going to the New World for fishing recently. Don't be impatient. If you can learn Bayou's methods, it will not be difficult to deal with the current situation. Carp said from the side. I know, thank you both. King Z stood up and expressed his sincere thanks. After these two old guys retired, they became very unreliable. But he still respected these two people very much in his heart. Haha, I said that Kuzan guy will definitely thank us. Garp, your 10 bags of senbei are mine. After Zenguo finished speaking, he ran out, obviously to grab something. Warring states. You old bastard. I didn't agree to bet with you. Don't touch my senbei. Garp directly used the shaver to catch up. Black lines appeared on Aokiji's forehead. He took a deep breath and took out the phone bug. Let Midori and Fujitora come over. New World. Red hair pirates. Finally coming? Luffy. Red-haired Shanks looked at the sky in the distance with a smile on his face. Even you won't be safe if Luffy uses that desperate move. Are you prepared to be defeated? Hawkeye put down the wine glass and said with blurred eyes. I already knew that he would surpass me, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. But if he wants to defeat me, it may be a little early. Shanks is very confident. In fact, the most troublesome thing is that Bayou, even Akainu is no match for him, and he is too mysterious. Ben Beckman said with a frown. Well, he is indeed a troublesome guy. He even dares to kill the celestial dragons and sell them as slaves. Shanks nodded and agreed very much. After all, there are not many people who dare to directly attack the celestial dragons. Long seems to be using that Tianlong person to negotiate with Wu Laoxing. I don't know what the outcome will be, said Ben Beckman. The result is not important, but the biggest beneficiary is definitely that Bayou. That kid even dares to trick the world government, and he will definitely not let that guy Long go. Shanks smiled and picked up the wine glass. For the exciting new world, cheers. Roronoa Zoro, our battle is not over yet. Hawkeye picked up the wine glass with extremely sharp eyes. Beast pirates. Finally coming? Ha ha ha. Very good. Finally some fun. Kaido immediately laughed after seeing the news about the Straw Hat Pirates. The last gambling battle was not over yet, and this time we can finally continue fighting. Big Mom Pirates. Are you starting to grab territory before you even arrive? What a bunch of arrogant brats. Auntie looked at it and tore the information in her hand to pieces. Fishman Island is the place she likes. Mom, let me deal with them. Katakuri said. Don't worry, they will come, and I'm not the only one who has to deal with them. Auntie smiled mysteriously. He would not do such a thing as being the first bird. The Straw Hats can stand out in the war on the top, and their strength is definitely extraordinary. Otherwise, there would not be such a high reward. And Bayou is too mysterious. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 116. New World. I am coming. Bayou clenched his fists. He finally came to the sea of strong men. This is his real stage. Discover the island ahead. Elnila shouted loudly. Islands. Nami was stunned for a moment and looked at the hands on her wrist. None of the three hands pointed to the island that Eniro mentioned. Log in. The first island in the New World. Luffy shouted loudly. Fool. This island is very strange. None of the three pointers point here. Nami immediately shouted loudly. It looks like a deserted island with no ingredients. Sanji looked at the deserted island that appeared in the distance and suddenly lost interest. There seems to be a building. This is not a desert island. Usopp shouted loudly. This should be Punk Hasid, an experimental base of the world government. It became like this because of an experimental accident. Pirates and Navy are not allowed to enter here. But you said. Because there was no duel between Aokiji and Akainu, Punk Hasid did not become Ice and Fire Island. However, the ecology here was completely destroyed because of that bastard Caesar. Now Caesar should be researching artificial devil fruits here. The raw materials. Although that guy is a bastard, he is still a genius. It is really amazing that he can even research things like artificial devil fruits. Baiyu also wants to see if he can absorb artificial devil fruits. And now at this time that damn Momonosuke probably hasn't appeared yet. Then, that artificial devil fruit shouldn't have been eaten either. Off limits? Doesn't that mean there is a treasure here? Luffy's eyes lit up instantly. Even Nami's eyes lit up when she heard the word treasure. The world government won't let anyone land, so there must be a big secret hidden here. There are people here, lots of them. Enilu said. Don't keep using abilities to cover the entire island, or you'll lose the sense of adventure. Baiyu is also helpless. Eniru's ability is simply a bug. The domineering power of knowledge enhanced by the thunder fruit covers the entire island. It is completely clear how many people are on the island and what they are talking about. The fun of adventure lies in the unknown. If you know everything, the fun will be gone. Set off. Punk Hazard. Luffy shouted excitedly. At that time, the G5 branch of the New World Navy. Kizaru was lying on a chair leisurely and drinking tea. He was so tired during this period and could finally relax. Brew brew. Phone bug, it rang. Kizaru frowned and answered the phone. Poor Salino, the Straw Hat Kid has appeared in the New World, please take people to see it. The voice of the green pheasant sounded. If you want me to die, just say so. Kizaru was very angry. Even Akainu died in Baiu's hands. What's the use of him? I have arranged for General Fujitora to go over and support you. As long as you can prevent them from continuing to sail, someone will deal with them then. Ching Pheasant said immediately. There are not many people who can deal with them. Even if Fujitora and I were two generals, it wouldn't be enough to deal with them. Kizaru frowned. He didn't doubt Aokiji. He just didn't know who else Aokiji had found to deal with the Straw Hats. You will know then, so hurry up and set off. King Z said and hung up the phone. Asshole. Kizaru walked out of the office angrily. At that time, the Straw Hats successfully landed in Punk Hasid. Intruder. Go and notify the boss. Do not move. A group of half-human and half-animal people suddenly appeared. They also had weapons in their hands. Centaur. Amazing. Luffy's eyes lit up after seeing these people. What species is this? Sanji also looked curious. It's not like it's innate, it seems like it's acquired. Frankie looked at the monsters in front of him very seriously. Could this be the product of an experiment on this island? It would be terrible if we became like this. Robin said very calmly. I don't want to become a monster. Baiyu, save me. Usopp was so frightened by Robin that he hid behind Baiyu. Robin. Can you stop saying scary words so calmly? Wai Wei was also scared and hugged Baiyu's arm. Robin is so scary. Chopper was also hiding behind Zoro. You all shut up. Bang. Gunshots sounded. If you shoot, don't blame me. Bayou waved his hand, and electric current surged. Boom. Everyone around was shocked to the end. Okay, if you want to know what's here, just explore it yourself, I'll take the first step. Bayou said and disappeared. He was going to find the artificial devil fruit. If Shura's skills could be absorbed, then he would find a way to cooperate with Kaido. If it couldn't be absorbed, there would be no need to exist here. Caesar, how's the research going? Bayou asked. All the best, you. How did you get in? Caesar was startled. Don't worry about these details, where is the artificial devil fruit created by Vegapunk? Bayou said very directly. You. You are the clone Bayou. Caesar recognized Bayou and backed away quickly in fright. It will be easier if you know me. Give me the things and don't let me touch them. Bayou is too lazy to do anything. Caesar is just a second-rate guy. However, it would be very good if he could work for him. That's Lord Kaido's thing, if you take it away. Caesar is very afraid of Bayou, but he is also very afraid of Kaido. How could he not be afraid of the pirate who had a bounty of 3 billion belly on his head? Boom. Bayou went up and kicked him. Don't let me talk nonsense. Kaido. Don't say it's not here, even if it's here he dares to grab it. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 117. Doflamingo, the Straw Hats have arrived in Punk Hasid, and the clone Bayou wants to snatch the artificial devil fruit. Come quickly to support. Caesar took advantage of the time to get the artificial devil fruit to contact Doflamingo. If what happened here was exposed, both of them would be in trouble. And he didn't want to face someone as terrifying as Bayou alone. What? How did they find it there? Doflamingo was very surprised. Punk Hasid is an island with no recorded pointer. People who don't know the specific location can't find it at all. Don't worry about how they found it, come here quickly. Caesar quickly shouted. He didn't dare to come over. Bayou appeared next to Caesar and said. You. Caesar's whole body was shaking with fear, and he was sweating profusely. On the other side of the phone bug, Doflamingo felt bad when he heard Bayou's voice. During the war at the top, he saw with his own eyes how Bayou tortured and killed Akainu. Now that I think about the scene at that time, I feel shuddering. Bayou, you, what do you want to do? Doflamingo's voice was trembling. I didn't want to do anything originally, but when you ask me this, I really want to think about it. Bayou said and fell into deep thought. If this guy Caesar takes advantage of it, it will be a big help. That guy Doflamingo is also very smart, and he is also one of the emperors of the Dark World. It will be very helpful if you help him. Big help. Let's see, there is no future for you to follow Kaido, and the reputation of the Shishibukai won't protect you for long, so just follow me from now on. Bayou thought for a while and said. You want me to be your subordinate? Doflamingo's voice was filled with confusion. Why do you have an opinion? Bayou's voice turned cold. If Kaido finds out, I will die. Doflamingo was a little moved. But thinking of Kaido's terror, he was still a little scared. Just let him come to me. Bayou said directly. Please take care of me from now on, Lord Bayou. Doflamingo also agreed very simply. Just wait for me in Dressrosa. We will be there soon. In your spare time, collect some more devil fruits for me, preferably superhuman ones. It doesn't matter the strength, the most important thing is the quantity. Bayou immediately assigned the task. He has already experimented. Artificial devil fruit cannot be absorbed. Then he can only absorb real devil fruit. If he is allowed to collect it by himself, he doesn't know when he will be able to get it. It is time consuming and labor intensive, and it will be handed over to many people. Flamenco is the best choice. No problem. Doflamingo agreed. That's all. Bye. You hung up the phone and looked at Caesar. You should stop doing those human experiments in the future. It's meaningless. You should concentrate on researching weapons. Yes. From now on, I will focus on researching weapons and will never conduct human experiments. Caesar nodded quickly like a chicken eating rice, very well behaved. Don't you want to surpass Vegapunk and become the world's #1 scientist? When my crew comes, let him teach you something. As long as you can do it, you can definitely surpass him. Although the skills of the system cannot be taught to others, and others cannot learn them. But if Frankie shows Caesar the steel armor, it should not be impossible to imitate it with Caesar's ability. Of course, even if it is imitated, and it will definitely not be able to reach Frankie's level. But it will definitely be stronger than ordinary armor. It will also be a good choice to form an armored regiment by then. You mean Cyborg Frankie? Caesar immediately thought of Frankie, who had shined in the war at the top. Good. Bayou nodded. That's really great. If you teach me the techniques for making that kind of armor, I will definitely make you the most powerful armor in the world. Caesar was very excited. Yes, I am very optimistic about you. Bayou did not dampen Caesar's enthusiasm and did not tell him the real situation. The steel suit is not that easy to build. Even if it can be made, it will only be an imitation and will never be comparable to the suit made by Frankie. Caesar. Ludo walked in, but when he saw Bayou, he was stunned. Ludo, hello. I heard that you have become a Shishibukai. Congratulations. Bayou smiled slightly. You. Why are you here? Ludo nervously put his hand on the handle of the knife. Don't be nervous, if I want to kill you, you won't have a chance to fight back. Bayou waved his hand and motioned Ludo to sit down. The fruit of the operation can give people the power of eternal life. Even he can't refuse the temptation of eternal life. A person like you should look down on the things here, right? Ludo took a deep breath and tried to calm himself down. Of course, what I want is people. Bayou smiled slightly. It seems you have achieved your goal. Ludo glanced at the honest Caesar and said. There is still one person left. Bye. You said with a smile. Do I have any other options? Ludo shook his head. In front of this man, he had no power to resist at all. Owner. Oh no. An intruder broke in. Boom. Caesar. Luffy rushed in and shouted angrily. Caesar was so frightened that he immediately hid behind Bayou. Bayou? Why are you here? Luffy was stunned for a moment. Well, I've been here a long time ago. Caesar is here. Why are you looking for him? Bayou casually lifted Caesar out. This bastard actually does that kind of human experiment on a child. I'm going to blow him away. Luffy looked at Caesar angrily. Fight, just don't kill him, he is our subordinate now. Bayou threw Caesar in front of Luffy. Boss Luffy, please forgive me. I will never do human experiments again. Doflamingo and Kaido asked me to do this. It really has nothing to do with me. Boom. Luffy knocked Caesar to the ground with one punch. Caesar rolled his eyes and fainted. The rest of the Straw Hats also rushed in. Bayou. Why are you here? Everyone was stunned for a moment. They didn't expect Bayou to appear here at all. You guys came quite quickly. Bayou smiled slightly. Bulub bulub. The phone rang. Caesar glanced at Bayou and answered the phone. Caesar, inform Lord Bayou that the Navy is coming. It's General Kizaru. The voice of Monet the Snow Girl rang out. Is Kizaru here? Bayou's eyes were strange, Why did Kizaru come here? I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 118. General Kizaru. Caesar screamed in fright. Bang. Luffy punched Caesar to the ground again. How did the Navy know our whereabouts? Sanji frowned. Maybe not to come to us, but to come here. Robin looked at Caesar on the ground. Lord Bayou. You have to save me. Caesar was so scared that he hugged Bayou's feet. Get out of here. Bayou kicked Caesar away. Bayou, what's going on with this Caesar? Nami couldn't help but asked. This guy will work for us from now on. I will explain other things to you later. It is better to prepare to leave now. It is not normal for Kizaru to appear in the new world. Bayou suddenly had an ominous premonition in his heart. Not long after they arrived here, Kizaru appeared. This is definitely not a coincidence. There is a vice admiral behind the scenes, and the Navy definitely doesn't know what's going on here. It's definitely not a coincidence. The admiral is coming here. There is only one reason for coming here, and that is for them. If Kizaru dares to come even though he knows his strength, he must have something to rely on. His strength is not yet completely invincible. You still need to be careful. And he also knows that the Navy has started recruiting troops from all over the world. Who knows what kind of people will join the Navy after the plot changes? Bayou, are you saying that Kizaru is here to find us? Nami frowned. Most likely, don't underestimate the Navy's intelligence capabilities. Bayou nodded and said. It's just one, can't we just blow it away? Luffy rubbed his fists. It's not as simple as you think. Kizaru knows our strength. Since he dares to come to us, he must have something to rely on. Bayou shook his head. Huan Yuan is a smarter person than monkeys, how could he take the initiative to be beaten? Boom. There was a roar. It seems it's over. Bayou shook his head. Leave it to me, General. You go first. Enilu stood up. That's fine. Bayou nodded. Luo, take Caesar and leave here. Yes. Luo nodded, lifted Caesar up, and walked out of the laboratory. Bayou, is that a devil fruit in your hand? Jinbei asked curiously. Strictly speaking, this is an artificial devil fruit. Artificial devil fruit. Everyone was shocked. Can something like devil fruit be made artificially? Although it can be produced, it also has strong side effects, is difficult to control, does more harm than good, and is of no use. Bayou casually threw the artificial devil fruit to Usopp. Give me. Usopp was shocked and quickly caught it. You can eat it if you want. This ability is very similar to Kaido's ability. They are both the dragon fruit of the phantom beast species. However, this is a low-end version and difficult to control. Bayou gave a brief introduction. Phantom beast species. Usopp looked at the devil fruit in his hand, and there was saliva at the corner of his mouth. Phantom beast species are rarer than natural ones, and he has seen Kaido's abilities before. That terrifying dragon is too powerful. Others he also looked at the devil fruit in Usopp's hand with some surprise. Forget it, I don't want to become a landlubber. Usopp finally gave up on eating this devil fruit. Put it away first, you will need it later. Bayou smiled. Although Usopp was timid, he still had some foresight. Boom. There was a roar from outside. Eniru was already fighting with Kizaru. Let's go, get out of here first. Bayou said. The others didn't say anything, nodded and followed Bayou away. It's really scary, but after not seeing him for a while, his strength has improved again. Kizaru said while fighting Enilu. Your wretched guy's strength has not changed much. As Nilu said, the power of thunder and lightning also increased a bit. How cunning, it turned out he wanted to run away. Kizaru noticed Bayou and others. I won't let you pass. Enilu immediately stopped Kizaru. It's really troublesome, I know it's not a good job. Kizaru frowned and looked at the pirate ship. 8-foot Megatama. Densely packed light bullets headed straight for the pirate ship. 100 million volts Thunderbird. The thunder and lightning of an arrow formed a Thunderbird and rushed towards the point of light. Uncle! Luffy shouted. Asshole! Who is your uncle? When Kizaru heard this, his uncle's face turned ugly. Pegasus Meteor Fist. Eniru saw that Kizaru was distracted and directly fired his ultimate move. Boom! Kizaru fell to the ground and made a huge hole. Not good. Eniru frowned. He discovered that Kizaru was actually running towards the pirate ship. Kizaru appeared above the pirate ship. The golden light flashed on his fingers. He was aiming at the pirate ship. Asshole! Stop it! Brontosaurus! Eniru roared angrily and launched an attack directly. But the laser beam on Kizaru's finger had already shot out. The proud son of heaven, the city wall made of iron, dragons roaming, lions roar, tigers roar, wolves run, cut off the heaven and earth before collapse, binding Deo 81 breaking the sky. Bang! A huge defensive wall appeared, blocking the laser light. What ability is this? Kizaru frowned. He had already charged up the attack, and also added armed haki. How could he be blocked by a little girl? What a strange kid. Kizaru dodged Enilu's attack and looked at Melee. Kizaru! Do you really think I won't kill you? Baiyu appeared in front of Kizaru, his eyes cold. What a scary look. Cold sweat broke out on Kizaru's forehead immediately. He cursed Aokiji in his heart for being unreliable, saying that he sent Fujitora to support, but in the end there was not even a shadow. He faced this terrifying guy alone, and he really didn't feel like it. And, Uncle, why did you attack our pirate ship? Luffy shouted angrily. Asshole! Stop calling me uncle. Kizaru suddenly became angry. It's your pleasure, Kizaru. A smile appeared on Baiyu's face. He was very happy when he saw Kizaru deflated in Luffy's hands. No matter whether Kizaru was a real undercover or not, he would find a way to make it true. Asshole! Do you know? It's because of you. Now the world government is still investigating me. Kizaru clenched his fists, very angry. Yeah? That's not good. The world government doesn't believe you anyway. You might as well join the Revolutionary Army. I still have some friendship with Long, and you are Luffy's uncle. Long will definitely welcome you very much. Bye. You said with a smile. Go to hell. Kizaru's whole body burst into dazzling golden light. This time he is really going to go all out. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 119. Are you finally willing to go all out? Baiyu smiled, and he was also looking forward to it. Kizaru usually paddles whenever he can in a fight. Even when he is in a war, it is the same. It is estimated that no one has seen his true strength. Baiyu. You forced me to do this. Kizaru's voice fell, and a huge laser beam went straight to Baiyu. So fast. Baiyu instantly activated Shura and narrowly avoided the blow. Kizaru instantly appeared behind Baiyu. It was a direct kick. Boom. The huge force directly kicked Baiyu into the ground. Baiyu! Baiyu! The Straw Hats exclaimed. Luffy directly opened the 8-gate armor. Open the door. Open. He rushed towards Kizaru instantly. Kizaru stood motionless. Luffy punched out and hit Kizaru's body. But it came to nothing. After image. Straw Hat Luffy. Kizaru kicked Luffy with anger. Bang. The other foot blocked Kizaru. Bayou. Luffy shouted in surprise. Kizaru, you are really ruthless. Bayou moved his neck. The kick just now was indeed very heavy. Fortunately, he had transformed into elements in advance. Otherwise, it would have been really dangerous. Kizaru's speed was too fast. Even Bayou would be in trouble if he fully exploded. The speed to catch up with Kizaru. The strongest thing about Thunder Fruit is destruction, followed by speed. Stop lying. Kizaru's voice fell and disappeared again. I'd better hack you to death. Bayou pulled out the Jinpilloyo from his waist, waved his hand and struck with a slash. Kizaru, who had just appeared, was startled and hurriedly avoided it. Luffy, you take those children and go first, I will catch up with you. Bayou said. Only he can hold back Kizaru when he explodes with all his strength. Even Enelu can't stop Kizaru. Good. Luffy nodded immediately. He had already seen Kizaru's speed just now. Unless he opened the 8th gate, he would be able to win. But the cost of opening the 8th gate was too serious, and he did not dare to open it easily. Enero looked at it. Bayou glanced at Bayou, said nothing, and left with everyone. It was all because of insufficient strength. Otherwise, there would be no need for Bayou to be the queen every time. Bayou, you can't run away. Kizaru didn't stop the Wanli Sunshine. It's already pretty good if he can stop a Bayou. In fact, you should let us run. If we don't run, that's the most dangerous time, just like now. After Bayou's words fell, the lightning flashed on Jinbulugo's sword. Kizaru immediately tried to dodge when he saw this, but he didn't dare to resist. But at this moment, dense hands appeared under his feet, and he grabbed him directly. He cut. Bayou shouted coldly and flew out with a thunderous slash. Not good. Kizaru burst out with dazzling light again. Bayou quickly closed his eyes and backed away quickly. You are really merciless. This Jinpai is really powerful in your hand. Kizaru was also a little frightened. He was almost cut off just now. Haven't I cut you yet? Bayou is not surprised. The shining fruit is already very strong, and Kizaru has developed it to the extreme. It is difficult for them to decide the winner. Even if he uses the one-sword Rakshasa, it will be the same. Because Kizaru is too fast. If you don't limit his speed, it will be too difficult to kill him. Tiankong Yun sword. Kizaru condenses a long sword. Why do you want to compete with me in swordsmanship? Bayou smiled. Your ability is so weird that it's impossible not to be careful. Kizaru is really a little scared. Bayou has too many abilities, who knows what dirty tricks he will do next. It is safer to hold a sword in his hand. Then let me learn your sword skills. After Bayou's words fell, he rushed over. Dang! The voice was extremely clear. As the two continued to fight, Kizaru became more and more frightened. Bayou was very skilled in using various abilities and developed them very strongly. And just even the swordsmanship is at the level of a great swordsman. If he hadn't relied on his speed advantage, he would have lost long ago. And the worst thing is this small island. It was originally eroded by poisonous gas and was in dilapidated condition. The two fought here, which scarred the island even more. At that time, the Miles Sunshine was taken out. The children who were taken out were very happy on the ship. But everyone in the Straw Hat Pirates was not happy. They were chased by the general just after entering the New World and they can't help yet. There is a warship. Enilu immediately shouted. Why doesn't it feel like a navy? Usopp saw that the flags on the warships in the distance were different from those of the navy. It should be the new navy that has just appeared recently. These people will kill pirates when they see them. They are completely different from the navy. Almost no pirates who encounter them in the New World are alive. Logo said from the side. There is no one alive, so scary. Chopper was so frightened that he hid behind Zoro. Nami. Run away. Usopp almost cried, the new world is too scary. There's movement underwater. Enilu's expression changed. He attacked underwater and flew away to destroy the pirate ship. Leave it to me, Jinbei said and jumped directly. Once in the water, it was his world. There were hundreds of densely packed submarines, which had completely surrounded them. Someone discovered us. It seems to be the original Shichibukai and Kaiksia Jinbei. Prepare to attack immediately. Water release Shunsui. Jinbei disappeared in an instant. The target is missing. It's here. Among us. Quick. Attack. Water escape, water rush wave. A huge whirlpool appeared, and all the surrounding submarines were immediately involved. Boom. A column of water rose into the sky. All submarines were swept up. Fire. A large number of artillery shells flew over the warship. Look at me, Frankie interceptor cannon. More than a dozen small missiles appeared in Frankie's arm. Boom boom boom. All the shells flying from the warship were intercepted. Divine punishment. Enilu's arm stretched to the sky and turned into thunder and lightning. A thick thunder fell from the sky. Boom. It bombarded the warship directly. Take advantage of now. Set off. Nami immediately shouted loudly. Jinbei immediately jumped on the ship and took charge of the helm. The Wanli Sunshine quickly got rid of the new navy's pursuit. But at this time, something was wrong with Baiyu. Because another general came, and he was still familiar with it. That blind swordsman Fujitora. I am the strongest officer of the Straw Hats. Author, Super Red. Chapter 120. Facing Akizaru already gave Baiyu a headache, and now another Fujitora came. The main reason is that this guy is too fast and it is too difficult to attack him. Unless he desperately uses Yideo Rakshasa or 8-Gate Dungia. But he really doesn't want to fight hard every time and use his ultimate move every time. Look at Roger the Pirate King, he is even A. Even though the flat A was named, it was still a flat A. Suddenly a question occurred to him. Shura can swallow other people's devil fruit abilities, but can it be combined with other skills? What bad things are you thinking about? Kizaru didn't attack, mainly because he didn't dare. Baiyu had a headache because of his speed, and he was also afraid of Baiyu's explosion. He didn't want to have his hands and feet cut off like Akainu. Gravity Knife Tiger. Fujitora swung his sword, and the huge gravity rushed out horizontally. Wherever it passed, it was like a hurricane coming. Good weight. Baiyu immediately felt the terrifying gravity. 8-foot Megatama. Kizaru saw Baiyu being affected by gravity and immediately launched an attack. Two shameless old guys. Baiyu roared angrily, one sword Shura. Boom. The powerful force broke gravity instantly. Cut. A knife slashed at Fujitora. The huge slash flew out quickly. Fujitora quickly raised his sword to resist. Baiyu disappeared in an instant. Gone. Kizaru was shocked. He could not sense Baiyu's position even with his knowledge, color, and domineering energy. Behind you. Fujitora yelled. Kizaru was startled and transformed directly into the element without any hesitation. Nothing is more important than saving his life. Baiyu's sword missed. Admiral Fujitora, you are really powerful. This is the first person who can see through his transformation skills. If you can completely change your breath, you are really powerful. Fujitora said seriously. Forget it, there's no point in continuing the fight. Let's fight next time. Baiyu also felt that it was indeed a bit tricky to face two generals alone. Unless you fight hard, it would be too difficult to defeat these two people. The key is that there is no benefit. After saying this, Baiyu disappeared in place. This bastard. Kizaru was very angry. In fact, he could have killed you just now, or at least seriously injured you. Fujitora said. Kill me. Kizaru was stunned. He really didn't feel it. He seemed to have used some kind of explosive skill just now, which should be the skill he used against Akainu. Fujitora said, taking out a dice and shaking his head, I can't see clearly his good and evil, and you can't make it clear to me either. Fujitora, don't talk nonsense, it will kill people. Kizaru quickly appeared next to Fujitora. Are you afraid that the world government will identify you as an undercover agent? Fujitora said very directly. Of course, I would be in trouble if I was identified as an undercover agent. Kizaru said quickly. This is what he is most worried about at the moment. Fujitora's expression remained unchanged and he asked calmly, then are you an undercover agent? How can it be? Of course I'm not an undercover agent. Kizaru immediately exploded. Then why did the Straw Hat Boy call you uncle? Is your sister Long's wife? Fujitora asked again, but this time his tone was much faster. Obviously he also wanted to know the real situation. Fujitora. Kizaru's anger was full in an instant. Now that he thinks of the word uncle, he is very angry. Haha, let's go find a casino, have some drinks, and gamble a bit. Fujitora smiled and didn't ask. Kizaru's mood gradually calmed down. He didn't even know why he couldn't control his emotions when he talked about Baiyu and Luffy. Warring states. You lose. Get the senbei out quickly. Garp's face was full of excitement, because the fish he caught were bigger than those of the Warring States period. Asshole. You cheated. Warring States was extremely angry. The two of them agreed that each of them would catch a fish and then compare the size. Whoever loses would take out 10 packs of senbei. As a result, Garp jumped directly into the sea and caught a huge fish and hung it on the hook. You didn't say you can't go into the sea to catch it? Anyway, I caught it with a fishing rod. If you have the ability, go and catch it. Garp stared at the sky and picked his nose with his hands, feeling very proud. You are vicious. I owe it first. Zhangguo turned around angrily and returned to the cabin. How much do you owe me? No debt this time. Garp immediately chased after him. The soldiers on the warship looked at each other. Going to sea with these two old guys really requires a strong psychological quality. Who would have thought that the always aloof marshal of the Warring States period would become like this after his retirement? This is no longer returning to oneself, but giving up oneself. In the cabin, Sengoku looked at Garp seriously. This time the world government is determined to capture Baiyu and the Straw Hats. You can really do it, hand. Hearing this, Garp's smiling face changed instantly and he said nothing. He may be able to do something to Baiyu, but he really can't do it to his own grandson. This was already seen during the war at Dingshang. Out. I really miss the old days when I didn't have to think so much. Garp sighed. At that time, you, I, Ziahe and Z fought, it was such a happy time. You old bastard, you know I have shallow eye sockets and you still say this. Warring States also remembered when they were young. At that time, he and Garp often peeked at the girls' bathhouse. Warring States, do you think we can really catch Baiyu? Garp suddenly asked. I don't know about this either. That kid is too mysterious and I can't see through it. Even now I don't know what that kid's purpose is. Warring States shook his head. Maybe this is one of the reasons why the world government is determined to capture Baiyu. Garp is very clear about the way the world government handles things. Uncertainty factors will be eliminated by all means. Baiyu was exactly this uncertainty factor. At that time, after Baiyu returned to the pirate ship, he returned to his room. He wanted to try to see if he could fuse skills. It turned out that he felt that the more skills, the better. There were many fighting moves, which dazzled the enemy. But after this period of fighting, he understood. You don't need many skills to defeat the enemy with one move. That's enough. All the bells and whistles are totally useless.